Nigerian President Bola Tinubu on Monday received a temporary relief after a federal judge in the United States denied a request for an urgent release of the Nigerian leader's confidential record compiled by American law enforcement authorities. Some reporters had on Monday reported that the U.S. court would give its position regarding the motion filed by Tinubu to intervene in an emergency motion filed on Friday at the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, seeking the release of records related to his residence in the country. An IT consultant, Aaron Greenspan, on July 21st, 2022, filed a Freedom of Information request asking the country's agencies to release Tinubu's records. Greenspan filed an emergency motion on Friday, October 20th, seeking the immediate release of the records. Greenspan's motion on October 20th urged Judge Beryl Howell to quickly order the Federal Bureau of Investigation, state departments, and other U.S. bodies to immediately turn over records they scheduled for release before the end of October. Plaintiff's emergency motion for a hearing to compel immediate document production is denied. Ms. Howell of the United States District Court for the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. ruled on Monday night no hearing to determine the merits of this motion is necessary. People's Gazette reports that Greenspan, a transparency activist running Plain Sight, filed the emergency request after Tinubu suddenly deployed lawyers to fight against the release, saying it would violate his privacy among other statutory rights. Greenspan said Tinubu was trying to slow walk the release of the document, which the agencies had previously stipulated would be released in batches effective October ending, to foreclose any impact the disclosures may have on the ongoing election dispute at the Nigerian Supreme Court. 7 justices had earlier on Monday heard arguments from Tinubu's lawyers as well as lawyers for Atiku Abubakar, the president's main challenger. The defendants in the suit are the Executive Office of U.S. Attorney, the Central Intelligence Agency CIA, U.S. Department of State, Federal Bureau of Investigation FBI, U.S. Department of the Treasury, Internal Revenue Service, and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. Tinubu subsequently filed a motion to intervene or be an intervenor in the case. He had filed an application before the court to stop the country's agencies from releasing records related to his residence in the country. The motion to intervene in the case between Aaron Greenspan, plaintiff, and Executive Office for U.S. Attorneys with Civil Action Number 23-1816 reads, Bola A. Tinubu moves pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 24 to intervene in this action because plaintiff seeks production of Mr. Tinubu's confidential tax record, which the Internal Revenue Services is prohibited from disclosing by federal law, and documents from federal law enforcement agencies that fall within the Privacy Act or exceptions to FOIA and should not be disclosed. Greenspan has followed political controversies in Nigeria since his website was besieged by Nigerians looking for the information about the 1993 case that saw Tinubu forfeit over $460,000 to the U.S. government after being caught laundering proceeds of narcotic trafficking in Chicago. The records Greenspan seeks could potentially help provide clarity around Tinubu's re-identity, especially the name under which he first traveled to the United States decades ago. The Nigerian president has been known to use clashing identities in the past. Can you imagine? But the Judge Howell, in her decision, said Greenspan did not adequately justify his request for an urgent hearing on his motion for expedited release of records, especially against the need to protect Tinubu's interests. Plaintiff has not made any representation to the court that the balance of equity tips in his favor or that that if any exists may be of a highly sensitive and private nature, and that the subject of those documents, Bola Tinubu, has had no opportunity to protect his privacy interests in any such records. The balance of equities militate strongly in favor of denying this emergency motion. The judge also approved Tinubu's request to allow his lawyer Christopher Carmichael to appear in the case, although she has yet to rule on the president's motion to intervene in the matter. Earlier, the U.S. Department of State of Justice, represented by Matthew Graves, had said the government would not be taking any position as to whether Tinubu should join the case or not. On behalf of defendants, the undersigned counsel does not take a position as to whether the court should grant Tinubu motion to intervene, Graves said. Mr. Tinubu should be allowed to intervene because he has a direct interest in the records sought. His interests are not fully represented or protected by defendants, and his interests will be adversely affected if he is not permitted to intervene. All these ones now the APC and the support, they should just be ashamed of themselves. We know that even if they quickly release the results or they release the records, the judiciary, the whatever, they will not do anything about it. So we know it, but let us know what is there. Let us know what is there. If your hands are clean, why running up and down? Is it not an embarrassment? You say you made a first class in Chicago State University. At the end of the day, you were running a test for it not to be released. I don't understand that. The same Yoruba will say, tí ogun ènìyàn bá dáyàn lójú, tógun ẹni bá dáni lójú, èèyàn fi máa ń gbárí ni. So why running etasketa? You make math. Now it comes to this issue of this thing. You say, oh, your hands are clean. Did. Let them release it. All your defense, all this while. It will prove to people who are in doubt of whether you were really involved in this whole thing. Of course, we are not expecting anything better from the Nigeria judiciary. Forget it. Whether they release it now or not, they are still going to release it. So it is not a cast in concrete, because they believe that they should not be able to use it, because after the Supreme Court, then they will not tell you that he has a immunity and what have you. If we have a reasonable system and you have a reasonable Senate, whether the Supreme Court clears him or not, they will impeach him by the time this whole thing comes out. But it is evident that Tinubu has a questionable character and he has a questions to answer. There's no doubt. They like me, they delay him. Of course, now so they say do during this thing. It's a CSU's records. They say they're not going to release them, but at the end of the day they release them. So make him never even dance. So make him never dance. Make him never rejoice. Yes. Make him never rejoice at all. Well, watching from Chicago State University, what is in this whole thing? This record. What is there? What are they hiding? If something is not wrong somewhere, what are they hiding? This is a welcome development. I stand with Tinubu. Somebody say, okay, you stand with Tinubu, you go stand with poverty. This is a case of precedent. What else do you expect? Nigerians definitely respect must be obtained. Okay, oh yes, we are all in Chicago State University. I can't even wait to read it as novel. They should share this country and let everybody go its our own way. Students, Chicago State University, watching from Buhari Integrity City, 1 refinery per year streets. Yes. What are they hiding? So guys, that is just it. So let's know what you think and let's have your take in the comment section. Thank you.